yeah, most of my audience did not sell a business for 7 figures. And people don't know this often, but I have a third of my money in the stock market, a third in real estate, and a third in crypto. And then in crypto, I have about half in these like blue chip assets, you might call them. And then, half in the degen plays that a lot of my videos are about. And so people see me do all these videos about these degen projects, and they're like, okay, so that's what you do to become wealthy, is you put a bunch of money in degen projects. And it's like, well, no, that's not how I gain my wealth. That's just how I mean, there's money to be made there. So I have money there.
It's the icing on the cake. You made the cake. Now let's put some beautiful icing on it that's super delicious, and it might work out. All of my income sources that I have painstakingly built over the past several years, when I didn't have the money that I have now, and I don't even have that much in the big scheme of things, but those streams of income right now allow me to go, I am very excited about this climate. I'm just buying up stuff and accumulating at a rate that I could not think possible 3 or 4 years ago in the last bear market, because I was still building many of these things.
Like, there's a lot of ways to go make passive income that don't require a lot of upfront capital.
I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. I tried the 9-to-5 thing for a little while. I was like, why am I trying this? Why am I doing what people are telling me to do? And so I built a new business on the side while I worked my 9-to-5 job. And then it overtook my 9-to-5 job. And I said, see you later, 9-to-5 job. And I went back into my entrepreneurial life. Like, you can do things like this. You just have to sacrifice time and like fun on the weekend. Like, you have to choose. You cannot build worthwhile things in life if you don't sacrifice. You just have to choose what those sacrifices are.
Like, when you think about, there's all these currencies in life. There's energy, there's time, there's patience, there's money. And so you have to kind of figure out, okay, what currencies do I have an abundance of that other people are lacking? So for me personally, I don't have very much extra time. I have a lot of extra capital. So what my YouTube channel is about is, hey, how can you trade your capital to either get time or get more capital? And that's what most of my YouTube channel is about. Now, for a lot of my viewers, they don't have a lot of capital, but they maybe have more time, or maybe more patience, or more intelligence, or some other, asset. And so then in those situations, well, if you have extra time but not capital, well, maybe you should be looking at starting a business. Like, if you only have $500, maybe your first thought shouldn't be, how do I invest this? It should be, how can I go start a business to get more income? Or how can I get a better job? Or things like that.
I think people they just don't understand, or they haven't thought about just the power of like side hustles and stuff, and like just earning more, just converting your extra time into more money, and how that just accelerates your entire like path to whatever financial goal you have is.
So I learned how to program, like computer programming, when I was super young, like first grade. Like, I went to the library.
Wow.
I just got all these books. I thought it was so cool. I saw someone making a program and I'm like, wait, we can make computers do whatever we want them to do? That's awesome. Eventually, I went to school, hated school, by the way, hated college, because
me too.
I dropped out of school. I'll just say that. I don't recommend that for everyone, dropping out of school, but I did that and it's worked out for me. But then I did e-commerce for some companies in an 8-to-5 job. And actually, the moment where I decided I was done doing that was I helped a company transition into e-commerce. They were selling just traditional, and then I built them an e-commerce store, and we sold like $1 million on the website the first year. And I hope they're not listening, the employer, but they were like, hey, nice job on that website. You made us an extra $1 million. We're giving you free lunch to celebrate this. And
I'm also going to need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday too.
I was just like, wait a second. If I could have built this for myself and made $1 million. And so that just, I don't know, that moment opened my eyes where it's like, man, I want my work to benefit me, not benefit someone else. And so then I just kind of started thinking that way about everything, as I was thinking about, now, how does this work benefit me? And that might sound selfish, but eventually that made me start my own. I started several businesses on the side. And then my software I wrote that sent mass text messages, that was the one that kind of took off. And then eventually I started hiring employees for there and eventually quit my 9 to 5. So then I ran that business for like 10 years, exited that business. That's where I have, all the money now to put in the stock market and real estate and stuff. And someone made a comment to me the other day that I didn't realize that not everyone thinks this way, but they said, what's unique about you is you always are thinking you work for money rather than working to make someone happy. And I think that's a unique way of thinking for some people. Some people think, I'm working to keep my boss happy.
In my journey to become a millionaire, now, and with all the cash flow and income sources I have now, there are like little opportunities that pop up and people ask me to do this, to do that, and stuff I don't want to do, jobs I don't want to do, work I don't want to do. And I had this absolute freedom to say, no, thank you. And I can say no to things. And, it's like if I were to do a part-time, whatever, it's like, I would do it because it's something fun, interesting to do. But the moment it was unenjoyable to me, it's like, and forget this. Like, I do not need this money. I do not need this, time suck in my life is not worth the trade-off for me. And that's one of my most favorite things about financial independence is the independence part, the freedom portion of that. It just buys you options. Like, I don't want to be someone who just loves wealth and hoards, chases it just for the sake of it. I mean, it's fun. The challenge of it's fun, but I want my time. I want my freedom, and I want that choice. And that's one of the things it gives you. And one of my kind of mantras in life and as an entrepreneur is, why on earth would I want to work somewhere and build someone else's dreams when I can work for myself and build my dreams? It's like, I don't care what some CEO's vision is. I mean, maybe if I'm really aligned, it's like a cool thing to go like build towards, but I have my own hopes and dreams, and I want to spend my time on those things. I don't want to build someone else's grand idea of what they think life should be.
There's some non-stressful things about just, I'm going to go to work 9 to 5. You don't have to spend your evenings thinking about it, very much. Whereas like, you and me, and when I ran my own business, I mean, it was 24. I'd lay in bed thinking about it. And so there's always like trade-offs and things like that. And I don't try to necessarily, if someone's happy in their 9 to 5, I try to be like fairly careful before I talk them out of being happy in it.
YouTubers inherently are a little bit more on this side of things. And so you're going to hear this version of experience and suggestion just because we've done it. But yeah, lots of people can actually enjoy going to work and doing the things. And heck, more power to you if you can find a 9 to 5 job, even that pays you like crazy and really doesn't have much requirements. You can kind of like joke off all day long, maybe even build your business while you're working your 9 to 5. Some have that freedom and stuff. So who knows?
If they knew how to do it and they thought it was possible, most people would go this direction. But I think most people think, oh no, it's not possible. I can't do it. And then they think, oh, I don't know how to do it. And so that is something that I think we as YouTubers can help with. It is possible. You can there's so many ways to make money. I always tell Andy, I wish I could show my marker board. Sometime I'll just take a picture, but it's basically just this list of ways to make money, like hundreds of them. And there's no shortage of those. And so that's what I want to do is it is possible. If you want to quit your 9 to 5, it's possible. And I want to help like show you how you can do that. But it used to be that you could only sell things to people that were directly around you. So you were very limited. Like you did not have, you had to look at the people around you. And if before cars, it couldn't even be like it was like the people directly around you. And you could only solve their problems, and you only had access to the money that they had access to. So your opportunities were limited. But we're now in a global economy with the internet. Your audience and like the people who you have access to help solve their problems is literally almost everyone in the world. And we've never been at a time like this where there's a part of me who is like, we should not have any 9 to 5 people anymore. I mean,
maybe,
I don't know. We're in a different world, but a lot of people are living life the same way that they've been living it for the last thousands of years. I used to, every day I would observe 10 problems in life and then try to come up with a solution for it. So every single day I would sit down and I would say, okay, what are 10 problems that either I've experienced or I heard about today? And then I would try to sit there, and it would usually take 20 minutes or so, but what would be a solution? What's something that would solve that problem? It could be technology that doesn't exist. It could be a business that doesn't exist. It could be information. And and training myself to think that way, I think has really served me going forward, where that's just how I automatically look at every situation is like, hey, what's a problem? How can I solve it? And then and then I get money for that. And yeah, so that's an exercise that you could start right now. If you're watching this and you want to be more entrepreneurial, start that exercise, train your brain to work that way. So I love this, by the way. We don't talk a lot about like psychological issues. I guess that's what you do in a bear market, right? Is you talk about
introspection.
Yeah, introspection.
What is wrong with me? But thanks, James, for doing this. I appreciate it.
Very cool. Appreciate you having me, and happy to come back anytime.